Hello there, welcome back to Aldra Cooks. This week we are making risotto. Risotto is an amazing dish with rice and whatever the hell you can put into it. So make sure you do leave a like and also comment down below what your favorite risotto recipe is. We're making a mushroom risotto this time. You are going to need onions, either 2 small ones or 1 large big one, 3 cloves of garlic, 2 pots of fat because you accidentally separated your fat into different pots. These are bacon fat. And of course your mushrooms. So these are a mix of wild exotic mushrooms. I think it's mostly just shiitake and oyster mushrooms. I could have definitely used more. I think I should have doubled this in the recipe. So yeah, maybe get 2 packs if you get in a supermarket. Oysters are really great for this. They have a really nice umami flavor. Additionally, you'll need some risotto rice, which is also known as arborio, and some white wine for flavor. It was actually surprisingly good. It was quite sweet. I don't really like using dry white wines in these kind of recipes, so I got quite a sweet, slightly peary, maybe citrusy wine. That would really pair well. Don't get cooking wine. Get a nice wine that you drink. You also need some chicken stock, and I am not going to be making the chicken noise that my script says I have to. No way. Some parsley, and some butter. Before cutting, I'm going to sharpen my knife extremely well. I know I do a lot of knife sharpening on this channel. It's super important. Make sure you always sharpen your knives. Cutting onions with blunt knives really sucks. Then we're going to cut our onions up, and I feel like in all of our videos, we have me cutting onions, so, you know, just, they're done. Here's the cut onions, okay? You're getting tired of it, I'm getting tired of it. They make me cry. I just love them so much, but I hate making them. Then we're going to saute our onions in a big saucepan with the bacon fat, or just oil or butter. I think I actually used half butter, half bacon fat here. Don't forget a pinch of salt to help draw out water, and stir it together. While the onions are cooking, you should melt some extra fat into a different frying pan so that we can cook our mushrooms. You want to cut your mushrooms to a manageable size. Think like a bit bigger than you would want to eat because they will shrink by about 30 to 50% as they cook. Also, make sure you wash your mushrooms very well. There's this weird urban myth that you shouldn't wash mushrooms. Definitely do. Mushrooms come from the dirt. They can have a lot of dirt, particulate, and sand sometimes. Always wash them. Doesn't lose any flavor, don't worry. Then we're going to add your mushrooms to the melted fat to cook, and we're going to just kind of cook them down until all the water is released and they start to brown. That can take anywhere from, 5 minutes to 15 minutes, depending on your mushrooms and your heat. While that's going, we're going to be weighing our rice and washing it. We used 1.5 cups of raw rice for 4 servings. Make sure you do wash the rice because this will actually remove a lot of the starch particulate on the surface of the rice. If you don't do this, your ending risotto will be like gummy, and it's weird, and no one liked that. Check on your mushrooms and notice how weirdly, even though you let them cook too long, they're not overcooked because mushrooms actually cannot be overcooked. There's an excellent America's Test Kitchen video about this, but essentially, yeah, you can't overcook mushrooms. It's just how mushrooms work. So don't worry about overcooking them. By now, your onions should be nicely done, so add your garlic and stir and give that about a minute. Once it smells real nice, add your rice into the pot along with some pepper and salt and stir it all together to help kind of brown the rice and kind of just amp up the flavor. Once gently browned and you feel like your garlic could be approaching burning time, add a cup of your white wine or a bit more, maybe a cup and a half, and allow it to cook for a few minutes until it reduces by about half or 3/4. While that's reducing, you can make up your chicken stock. I just use these convenient little chicken stock pots. If you want to avoid using chicken stock, there are other alternatives. You definitely could use a vegetable stock or a mushroom stock, which you can make by making stock from the stalks of mushrooms. But you need quite a lot of them, and no one has it, and I just use chicken stock I bought. But, you can make it vegetarian. You could even use water if you hate yourself, honestly. Once the white wine has completely deglazed the pan and has reduced, you should add your mushrooms to the pot, which should be deliciously slightly browned and released all their water and tasty, and you just want to eat them. Then you're going to decide that actually bacon would probably be a really nice addition to this and just totally go away from vegetarian ideas and start cutting up some delicious homemade bacon from a previous video and then cut it into chunks and fry it and then reserve the fat and then put the bacon in because bacon's great. You can then just dump your chicken stock into the risotto. I used about 1.5 liters to 2 liters of chicken stock. Now, a lot of people say that you should actually add it bit by bit, but you don't actually need to do that. That's only just so you don't add too much. Once the bacon looks like this, you can add it to the risotto. Stir it and just leave it to cook. It'll add a beautiful, salty, greasy flavor. Just make everything, so good. Next up, grate your cheese. You definitely want to be adding either some Parmigiano Reggiano or some Pecorino Romano cheese. This adds beautiful umami, saltiness, and cheesiness. It's just amazing. It goes perfectly with mushrooms. Leave it to cook for a little while, kind of, melt all together and get happy until it looks like this. And then add a good handful of chopped up parsley. You want to chop it up quite fine because you don't want big bits of parsley in your teeth. Then once it's all done, you can easily just serve it. Just glob it into some bowls and serve yourself way too much and accidentally kind of eat 2 days worth of dinner in one bowl because it's deceptively filling. You don't realize how many calories are in it. Make sure you grate some extra cheese on top as well. And that's it, it's risotto. It's a very basic recipe. You could basically change pretty much every aspect of this. As long as it includes rice and liquid, it's a risotto. Instead of mushrooms, you could use courgettes. I mean, you could do anything, honestly. Olivia makes a very nice tomato risotto. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I was Alger, and I'll continue to be, and this has been some Alger Cooks. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.